Hey y'all, it's been a while. How y'all doing? For those of you who don't know, my name is Shy, and I'm an intuitive guide, a Reiki practitioner, and a jewelry maker. I thought about something today that I thought I would share with you all. Someone asked me a question. What are my plans for 2026? And I explained to him that for 2026, I'm not making any plans. And I'll tell you why, right? Everybody is making plans. And I remember this saying that said, life is what happens when you're busy making plans. And I thought about how true that was, because even the best laid plans end up falling apart, right? So what I said to him was, I'm not making plans for 2026. I'm setting goals. What I would like for you to do is to take into account everything that is going on in your world and sort of decide, right? What is your 2026 going to be? Is it going to be thwarted plans, or is it going to be goals, right? Because I think that there's a very big difference between goals and plans, because goals you set and it's easier to ebb and flow with goals versus plans where when they don't go right, you get upset and you get frustrated, and then the anxiety kicks in. And I'm just tired of living an anxious life, aren't you? So my word for 2025 was fulfilled. And boy, God gave me that, okay? I am completely fulfilled, and I lived up to that word for this year. So my word for 2026 is going to be flow. I am just going to go with the flow. I'm not making no plans. I will set goals of things that I would like to accomplish, but I'm not giving myself a timeline. I am tired of living in a anxiety-driven mental capacity. Like, if it doesn't happen, you're scrambling, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'm tired of that. And so I would just encourage you to just remember that even the best laid plans sometimes turn to shit. And sometimes, actually all the times, that is exactly whatever happens is exactly what is supposed to happen, because things work out the way that they are supposed to. Sorry, I'm just putting on my gloves. Things work out how they're supposed to, when they're supposed to, and it's not necessarily what you want or think you should have gotten. So just remember that things might have been thwarted how you thought. Things might not have gone how you thought they should have or would have, right? But they went the way that they were supposed to go. And sometimes what we want for ourselves is not what God has planned for us. And so therefore, make goals to help you reach a certain threshold, but understand that your plans will only get as far as God wants them to get. And if they get thwarted, understand that there's a reason why, okay? For example, I have been without a car for about a year now, and I was so angry at first because I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do without a car? This is my first time not having a car in 7 years, and I have all of these things to do. And I had to understand that I am grateful because, or I need to be grateful because for the first time in 7 years, I didn't have a car, but for the last 7 years, I did. And sometimes we get caught up and we focus on what we lose and what we don't have instead of being grateful for what we do have. I am grateful to say that I learned how to do without, right? I learned how to take public transportation. I've had to utilize Uber and Lyft, and I've learned how to ask for help. In the last year, I've learned so many things that I would not have learned had I had a vehicle. So sometimes things happen because there's something in it that we need to learn. I needed to learn certain lessons, and I think that I have learned them. And now that I'm thinking about getting a car, now it's like, do I really want one? Like, do I really want the insurance? Do I really want maybe a car note? Do I really want the maintenance, repairs? Like, all of that money is money that I could be using to do something else, or like travel, or like if y'all don't know, like my goal for the next few years of my life is to travel. And it's like, well, with all the money that I would be spending on a car note and car insurance and car repairs, I could be using that to book flights, right? So when you reach a certain comfortability with allowing God to take the wheel, you start to just flow. When He ebbs, you flow, right? So just be grateful right now for all the things that you do have. If you have a roof over your head, great. If you have a bed to sleep in, phenomenal. If you have clean clothes and a way to wash and dry your clothes, fucking fantastic. Because some people don't have these things. If you don't have a car, but you know how to take a taxi or an Uber or a Lyft or public transportation, thank God that you are in a physical capacity to be able to do that, because again, some people are not. So let 2026 be your year of acceptance, accepting that things are not always going to work the way that you want them to, and learning to be okay with that and saying, okay, what is it that I can learn from this situation? What is the lesson here? Because 9 times out of 10, there's a lesson for everything that you go through, whether we want to admit it or not, right? I am so grateful for all the lessons that I learned this year, for all of the things that I didn't get because they would have put me in a position that I didn't want to be in, for all of the trials and the tribulations, for loving myself through it all, in every stage and level that I am in. I love myself, and I know that God has a bigger plan, and learning to be okay with that was my challenge this year. And it is an ongoing challenge every day. And so I am very, very grateful for it all from beginning to end. And I am grateful for all of you, for those who follow me and have looked at my products that I put up. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for being here. And in 2026, I plan to be more accountable for my content creation and more present. I tend to go ghost when I have like a lot of things going on, and I recently just had a really big health scare, and so like I took some time off like to mentally just get my shit together. And that's okay, right? That's okay. I am honest about it. And I think that we all just need to be a little bit nicer to ourselves and just love ourselves at every stage, at every size, at every level of this game that we call life. Okay. So again, thank you for those of you who have joined the bandwagon this year. For those who haven't yet to join, come on. Like, this is a loving community that is here to celebrate your wins and pick you up when you fall, okay? So, much love to you all. Happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's. And I will talk to you guys in the new year. Bye.